Should we go to? Oh, we're live.
Broadcast is live.
I think we're
Hello.
live. Hey guys. Hello.
Hi guys.
Whoa.
Let us know if it's working.
Florida and UK are already here.
Hello.
Oh, that's so sweet. Like half of the people in my chat are my family.
Ah.
My husband, my sister-in-law, and my mom-in-law. Hello, family.
Hello, Mariam's family. That's so cute. That's really
They are
cute.
very adorable. How is everyone doing?
Are you ready to do makeup?
I am super ready.
Yeah.
It's so nice to see you, Isa. It's like the most like live communication we've ever had. Hi, Emily. Hello.
Hello. Oh, wow. It's going to be really challenging to read the comments and do the makeup.
Yes, it will. Thank you, baby. That's my husband. Zwart Rider, that's my husband. He says it works. That's awesome.
Also, sorry guys for my really weird lighting, but the weather is not playing with me, so I will look pale all the time. But I have bronzer, so maybe that makes a difference.
Yeah, I'm also using the shitty camera of my laptop, so I don't expect miracles.
You know, Mariam, I brought actually because we were speaking about the dupe from GD Glow for the multi-chrome in Pat's new palette, and I actually have it here so we can compare.
Oh,
I don't have the new palette, but I have the multi-chrome.
Oh, I'm super bummed that your palette still isn't here. So we really wanted to do this as well, like this live stream, if we both have the Divine Rose 2 palette, but the Spanish postal services are abysmal.
They just don't want me to have my makeup. Never.
No, they're the worst.
So, okay. Let's
my
see.
My husband says I was born for makeup. Where do you put the highlighter?
Very good, very good.
Emily, I'm doing okay. I'm having the best afternoon because Hubs and Nicola are down south with grandparents. They're having a barbecue, so I'm having like the quietest afternoon.
Yeah. Also, I also condemned my husband to be with my daughter, so.
Okay, so maybe that's news for everyone because everyone doesn't know why you disappeared. So maybe you can tell them now.
I was first pregnant and then I had a baby, a daughter, Eva, and yeah, that's why I was absent for like, I think it has been a year maybe. Has it been a year? I think so. And yeah, because actually in the beginning of my pregnancy, I couldn't stand just to look at makeup. Like I couldn't even watch makeup videos because it would make me so nauseous. And just to enter the room where my makeup is stored, I couldn't do it. I could not go into this room for like 3 months. So yeah,
ever
got a bit out of groove.
I didn't have that many issues when I was pregnant, except for my lips were super dry, and that's when I broke up with liquid lipstick.
Yeah, liquid lipstick. I just saw this morning your video on makeup you don't buy anymore.
No, and like liquid lipstick is one of the products that I'm like so determined on never buying again. Like some of the other products, I'm like maybe it depends on the brand and you know, but like liquid lipstick is one of those products that I'm like no fucking way.
Oh, definitely. Oh, thank you, Emily. Yeah, a new family indeed. Yeah, with our. Oh, you can do that.
Yes, you can do that. That's awesome. Oh, wait. We have one also in Spanish because you live in Spain.
Ah, thank you, Isabel.
Yeah, how is your Spanish?
I'm taking lessons. I'm now officially level B2, but you know, I still have to think a lot when I'm speaking. It's not like English where I'm just like blah blah blah. It's really like I have to make like an effort to speak a little bit. But I just speak, you know. For me, I don't care.
Do you ever speak Spanish with your husband?
Yeah, with our friends here.
Okay. Speak. But like one-on-one when you're at home, you don't speak Spanish, right?
No, English. No.
It's the same for me and my husband. Technically, we could speak Dutch to each other, but it feels so weird and unnatural to me that I just can't.
It's terrible. Yeah.
So,
Mariam, I think it's time you show the new baby of your family. Your new baby.
she's here.
¿Dónde está la chapatería? Very good Spanish. Very good Spanish.
That's the only Spanish he speaks. Oh, Rina also says she's not down for liquid lipsticks anymore.
No,
yeah. No liquid lipsticks. Goodbye, liquid lipsticks. Doei. As they say in the Netherlands.
Aliana, do I say this right? Aliana?
Aliana is my mom-in-law.
Oh. I live in Spain. I live in Barcelona. I'm calling.
You also
speak German, Isa. Very nice. You speak a lot of languages. How many languages do you speak? So many.
You studied in Germany? That's amazing. Your life sounds amazing. Just like your makeup collection. If you guys didn't know that, Isa has the most amazing high-end makeup collection. Like, seriously.
Is whenever you speak about a high-end product, Isa knows about it because she has it.
Also, Emily, I know she studied in Germany as well.
Cool. So many German. So the next time we do it in German.
I can chime in with my Dutch if that's okay with everyone. Because my German is so...
We can also do it in Dutch. It's fine.
Do you know that channel which is called Kurzezacht? It's like it's a super, it's amazing. They make videos on like science content and they explain it in like a super approachable way.
Yeah, the one with the birds, no?
Yeah. You would think that because I have some like background in Dutch, I would realize what Kurzezacht means. And like last year or so, one of my colleagues was like, yeah, by the way, Kurzezacht means kort gezegd, which for those who don't speak German or Dutch, basically means like literally translated like said shortly, like explained shortly. And I was like, oh, how did I never realize that before?
In a nutshell.
In a nutshell, exactly.
It's like the word of the German meetings, you know? It's like when you have a meeting and somebody explains something for forever, they're like, so kurz gesagt, blah, 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 you know?
Yes, it's amazing.
So,
yeah, Isa, languages are like so easy to forget if you don't practice them. Like, technically, I had like some basic level of Spanish and a pretty good level of Russian. You cannot make me speak in either of those languages anymore.
I also had Russian in uni, and I was a huge disaster at it.
So we're going to eyeshadow aside from with you.
1 second. I like what Emily said, that Isa should also have a channel.
Yes. Okay. Isa, we agree you have to have a channel, okay? And show us your epic luxury makeup collection.
Absolutely. Food is the most important. Food is the most important.
Okay. Emily asks, how many languages do we all know together in this chat? Oh boy.
I don't know. How many do you know?
Okay, we have representing Bulgarian, Serbo-Croatian, Dutch, English. We have Spanish. We have German. My husband asks if Python counts.
Sure.
Sure, why not? It's a language, right?
Why not?
Go get a camera.
Yes, get a camera.
Come on, that's a lame excuse. You know you can do it.
We will help you with everything. You can ask us all the questions. French. French.
Oh, Rina, represent French, of course.
Okay. So I speak Spanish. I speak also Dutch and English, German, and maybe a little bit of Polish if I have a good day. But that's it.
Oh, I forgot that I can say like 3 words in Armenian, because like genetically speaking, I'm 100% almost. Oh, we have Portuguese.
Portuguese.
Wait. Rita, is that you?
Rita.
I have
Who's
one.
Rita? I mean Brazilian.
That's Keith, her husband. Don't ever say that to Portuguese people. They are going to literally murder you. Oh, we have Flora here. Hi, Flora. Flams. Okay, we can count Flams as a language if you insist. Wow, this is like the most like polyglot chat I've ever seen on YouTube, if I've ever seen one before.
I never participate in the chats, actually. I always just watch it later.
Hi, Rita. So, guys, this is like one of my real life makeup friends, and like not just makeup friends, but one of my besties. I love you, dude.
So cute. None of my friends are showing up, you know? My real life friends have no interest in my makeup.
Some of my real life friends have some. Actually, Rita is the one who got the original Divine Rose in the pink packaging.
Ooh, I'm jealous.
That's why I managed to score this one. So the only reason I managed to score the pink chrome packaging is because I ordered the duo. It just hit me a few days ago. The only reason. Otherwise, I would have been screwed.
Yeah, like me.
Oh, we have Chinese as well. Hi.
Wow.
Hi, Helen. Wow, it's amazing. This chat is amazing.
Yeah, I like it. Did any of you guys try to order the limited edition packaging for the Wine Rose 2 and had a good or bad experience?
Let's talk about that because we have some thoughts. I'm going to be using the palette, by the way, and I want to do like, I think 2 different eye looks because I want to test like a bunch of the eyeshadows. I wore the multichrome yesterday, and the multichrome is amazeballs, but I want to try, oh, this is difficult. I want to try the Eleganza shade, and I want to layer the multichrome shade over the gold. Because yesterday I tried it on my hand and it looked amazing. Yeah, my husband's in the chat. And why is your husband in the chat? That's the question. You are a very bad influence, I agree. You are. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Yes.
So let's chat about the release of the Divine Rose collection, because that was a freaking disaster as far as we, like, international customers are concerned.
Exactly. How was it for you guys?
Yeah. Bia, tell us what happened to you in the meantime.
So I set my alarms. You know, I was on the website half an hour early because last time when Decadence came, it was half an hour early on the website. So I was there, obviously. And yeah, so I tried to also snatch the limited edition packaging. But I got like, first of all, I didn't get through. I think that happened to many international customers. Like I didn't get through my order. Like it was processing.
Were you on the website like half an hour before already? Because they sent the early VIP access code like half an hour before 3 already.
Exactly. That's why I went there, because with Decadence it was like this. They sent out the access half an hour earlier, and then they already had it for sale. But this time they made the people wait. You managed. Very nice.
Yeah.
Nah. Yeah, I also got the pink lip set.
I didn't get any of the lip things. I'm going with the peachy shade in my crease, and it's such a beautiful shade. I love it. Did you guys, Rina and Isa, already try these? Okay.
So anyway, I'm not used to all the time speak with my makeup. So I try my best.
This. Forgive us for the live stream if it's a bit wonky because we are really newbies at this.
Yeah. So I tried to order it and it was processing forever. I think that was the experience for everyone. Then I tried to order a single one. I didn't try to order the duo. And basically it was not happening. The discount code never was accepted, etc., etc. I think that happened also to a lot of people. So I just decided, okay, I'm going to go without the discount code and just write customer service later on, like, hey, guys, I was trying to apply. This didn't work. And then my order, after like 10 attempts, confirmed, not confirmed, but like received. I got like order received email, and then I went, on with my day.
Mm-hmm.
And afterwards, like, I don't know, like 6 hours later or so, I got the cancellation email for the pallet. And yeah, that also happened to plenty of people, I guess. And what was weird for me was that, I mean, like, it can happen, okay, whatever, but the knowing that it was mainly international customers, and
Mm-hmm.
secondly, that also there were a lot of people commenting on her Instagram about it and made some comments, not rude necessarily, but like, hey, what the hell is going on?
Comments, yeah.
Yeah. And they got deleted apparently, because a day later, when I checked the Instagram post again, all the bad comments, or a lot of the bad comments were gone that I saw the day before. So I was like, that's shady, to delete the comments because you cannot provide on your end to
Mm-hmm.
just make it seem like it never happened.
Yeah. So I can tell you what happened with me, guys, because there's actually a little bit of a funny story to that. So Bia and I were in contact the whole day when the pallet was released, and I knew that normally when Pat gives out those early access codes, they actually become available like even half an hour before that. But I had like a work discussion meeting with our group between exactly the time that she's going to release it and an hour before that. So I was like, okay, no problem, and I had to present at the actual group meeting. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go first, and I'm gonna be on the website nice and early. And then the meeting starts, and everyone is like blabbering, blah blah, and I'm like, come on, go! I need to be on the website in half an hour. My boss looks at me and he says, "Do you mind if the other person, like my colleague, goes first?" And
Yes.
I'm like, no problem at all. And inside, I'm like, no, I'm gonna miss the pink packaging.
Oh, you didn't. That's good. I'm so happy you get it.
Okay, you're banned off the chat. Go away. That's my husband. Hi, Denise. Day's here as well. She's like one of my oldest like subscribers.
Ah,
I love her. She's been
yeah,
around
it's
the
a
channel
great
for
brush.
years.
The Sonia G Jumbo Blender is amazing. I love it. Alina, when the code didn't work for you, you can write to customer service. They will refund you the money that you
Yeah.
missed. I don't know if you did that, but just in case you want that,
Yeah.
it's not little money with this kind of prices.
Yeah, so that's like what BA is saying. She says she had a work call and she like could not get out. So on a like if things were normal and I was at work, I would not even have been able to be on the website at that time because I would just be focused on my work. I don't have time to deal with like limited edition releases and stuff. But I had the chance because we're working from home. So anyway, I finished my presentation and it's already like a little bit past 3 o'clock. And then my boss says, goodbye, and like I hear chattering in the background, but I'm like still on Zoom and I'm on the website of Pat McGrath, like trying to score the pallet. And at one point I hear my boss saying, um, and bye, Mariam. Apparently he and one of my on the call discussing something private, and I didn't even notice.
That's the real makeup lover. That's the real makeup lover in you.
So I think it was around like 8 minutes past 3 or something. So the sale had just started like officially for the early VIP access. And then I was trying to get the limited edition duo, and I kept like, first of all, the 10% off code didn't work for me. So after the second try, I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to ask for the money back later.
Mm.
Bia is a huge fan as well.
Yes, they're amazing. Nothing better.
Fude brushes. I've never heard of that. Is that a brand? What is that?
Oh, it's like this handmade Japanese brushes. It's like the craft of making brushes.
Oh, fancy. I did not know that. Anyway, so I was able after the third or fourth try to actually go through with my purchase, and I used Ideal. It's like a service where you pay through your Dutch bank immediately, through your bank. Like for me, it's my like Dutch bank account. And then I got an email which basically said, oh, we received your order, but it will depend on the stock, whether you actually get the product or not. And I never received an actual confirmation email. I actually communicated with a couple of you about it.
Yeah.
Then Bia and I were in contact also during the weekend. And at one point I was like, look, I'm going to write to customer service because I want to know if my order went through. And in the meantime, the black packaging also sold out. So I was like, I cannot get it at all anymore. And then luckily they confirmed that the order went through. But I thought, until I see these pallets in my hands, I'm not going to believe it. By the way, now I'm going to take
I think your husband is very funny.
Is this called Eleganza? I'm going to take Eleganza. Look how shiny that is. And I'm going to put that on my lid. Yeah, so we were super unhappy with how this went, and I was just lucky that I was able to get the pallet, but I could just have easily not been lucky and not have gotten anything out of this. And from what I understand, it's been a lot of international customers that got fucked over like that, and it really pisses me off.
For me, what really pisses me off with this fact is that, you know, international customers, they have to get up, some of them like at, I don't know, like horrendous hours in order to be part of the freaking release. And then, you know, it was for nothing because they never had a chance in the first place to get it.
Yeah. So their explanation was, thanks, babe. My girlfriend's ass here is looking great. Thank you.
It was first calligraphy. Do you say it like this? Brushes? I didn't know that. Okay. Like feud.
Wow.
First that. You are very informed, Isa. You're very informed.
It's a very beautiful, like really elegant color, and it has a lot of shine to it. Unfortunately, with my crappy laptop camera, you can't really see it, but in real life, it looks really beautiful. I really like it. And the explanation, by the way, was that international orders go through slower. Does that sound legit to you, or do you think that's not really something that happens in reality? Because I feel like once you have paid for something and the money's being taken off your bank account, it cannot take longer. That's it. It has happened. So I think that's a little bit of a shady excuse. I'm not quite sure that I really believe it.
I mean, I can believe it in the sense of like how it works, but then they shouldn't be taking out your money from your bank account, you know?
Yeah. And also, this time I feel like, do you guys have the feeling that for American people it went easier? Because, like, from what I gather from YouTube videos from other people, they're like, yeah, compared to the Star Wars release, this went so much smoother, everything went fine. And I was like, fuck no. For international people, it was just as big of a disaster as before.
Yeah.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
I also don't quite understand, is it that hard to just say something is out of stock when it's out of stock and not oversell your product so that you have to cancel 6 hours later? Because that sounds really ridiculous to me as well.
I think that they have for sure like this globally company that they use for international shipments.
Mm-hmm.
I think they kind of like, they have like an assigned stock, you know, and they don't manage with their systems to do it like in real time. I think I'm sure that's the issue, but
Yeah. It's still super crappy. And I recommend going to watch this video from this lady whose name I can't remember right now. So I'm just going to quickly look up the YouTube channel, because she's a UK-based lady and she made like a half an hour long video where she talked about the whole Charlotte Holdcroft.
Yeah.
Try to like leave her channel somewhere for you guys so that you can check out the video if you're interested. I think you may be one of the few ones, yes, that you've never experienced it. True. Dave was asking me earlier which eyeshadow palette I would recommend for her.
I think, yes, you will get hooked when you try it. You will get hooked.
Really, is that true? But it sounds so weird to me that a luxury company cannot get their shit together, especially because it's not the first time that this happens.
But like, I feel a lot of companies, doesn't matter which kind of branch they are in, or if they are luxury or affordable. I feel a lot of companies have a lot of issues with the logistics. Like every company I've worked for so far that requires heavy logistics, like makeup does, it's a mess. It's a hot mess.
Okay.
But some companies, at least when they outsource it, like Pat McGrath apparently did it, they actually managed to get someone that knows how to do it, and not just someone who does it worse than you did on your own before.
They are doing much worse now, because when I first started ordering from Pat McGrath, the shipping and the whole ordering was a breeze. It was so nice. She did. Let's all blame Isa for that. Maybe you can tell a little bit about your makeup preferences so that we can suggest which eyeshadow palette would be the best for you.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Oh, okay. I have no experience, so I have no idea.
Yeah, exactly, Isa. I have also worked in this area, and it's a mess.
My goodness, this applying makeup and chatting at the same time is taking
Yes.
forever to do everything. And you can't really see much of what's going on because the lighting is absolutely horrendous. But I put the astral shade in my inner corners. Oh, by the way, we talked about it yesterday with Bia, but because I ordered the original Divine Rose for my friend, I asked her to open it for me so that I can take a look-see. And her astral shade has also a different formula. It's not the original formula of the astral shades. So it's the one that's the less chunky one. So if you order the new Divine, like the Divine Rose now, the original, you're going to get the new formula and not the old one. My mom-in-law is asking her if we're doing same palette, different styles.
No,
because unfortunately Bia still doesn't have her new palette.
I do Divine Rose 1.
And I do Divine Rose 2.
In companionship with the Golden Opulence.
Yeah. Bia bought the golden. She caved.
And don't get confused because I use a Natasha Denona palette, but just for the mirror. It's like difficult to. It's the other way around. I'm getting confused.
Yeah, you have to hold things the exact opposite way, and it's very counterintuitive.
Totally.
Which shade, you guys, is the one that you like the most for those of you that do have Divine Rose too? You think, come on, she has rapid growth, I agree, but at the same time, she has the resources. She's a luxury brand, right? Do you think it should take this long to get your shit together if you're a luxury brand?
Yeah, I think it doesn't really matter because the operations are the same.
Okay.
Yes, you might have more money. Exactly.
I talk too much, I'm sorry.
But you have more money, but in the end, your contractor, if you they use globally, is not going to be better unless you decide to throw that money on them.
Mm-hmm.
But I think she probably, with all the shades she is throwing out, in these very special formulas, she has a lot of money in R&D and stuff like that,
Oh, okay. Oh, I see your point. Okay. But do you think that we should be more vocal that we are not happy with how things are going? Like international customers, because they seem to be quieting us down. If we say something, they just delete it.
Yeah, I don't know, but how can you do that,
The hot pink one, really?
Really?
Of all the hot pink one is your favorite? I'm really surprised. It is awesome as a highlighter. Have you tried using the astral shade as a highlighter as well? Because that one looks awesome as a highlighter. Okay. The expert has spoken. Maybe my expectations are way too high, and it takes time for things to be adjusted when you have such rapid growth. Okay, I will forgive Pat.
But I think still, I mean, I can forgive her, you know, like shit happens, and to fix something within like a couple of months for a company is like very short term, right? So,
Okay.
but
Okay.
what I cannot forgive is that she never speaks about it. You know, like she could say like, "Hey guys, we are in the process of improving it. Bear with us." You know, very simple.
Mm. Okay, guys, we need help. They says that she uses mostly neutral palettes, not really cool, like cool tones, I guess. Glitters more than shimmers. Does she sell singles? No. Well, she does. She does sell singles, but none of them are in the special shade range. So if you want to try the really glittery, beautiful baked topper shades, you are not going to get those in her singles. But you can get some of the mattes and the metallics, and they are also really beautiful.
Maybe the one of the quads of the holiday quads.
Do you prefer to have like only the glitters, or do you want to try like the full experience with the mattes, the shimmers, the satins, and the glitters? Because I feel like that's the best and the most like wholesome Pat McGrath experience. I'm going to actually continue doing my makeup here because I'm so behind.
Inventories. Yeah.
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 There also doesn't seem to be a lot of like connection between what's going on her social media and her customer service. It's yeah, something's falling short somewhere, but I'm not really sure exactly where.
Yeah,
Uh,
maybe.
yes, my husband, the biggest fan of glitter. Okay, now I'm actually going to try to see if I can use mm, this shade here, the bronzy one in my outer corner, and then the gold one in my on my lid. Because her topper shades, they go so beautifully, even in your outer corners. It's amazing. And I really want to try a lot of the shades, as many as I can. Yeah, mattes can be very helpful. Yeah, I do think you need them. Oh, we have someone here who also knows a lot about this kind of stuff. Okay, you think it's also a problem of very rapid growth. No, that's very useful to hear from people who know how this works so that we are less upset with Pat when she fucks up. Not that I wouldn't forgive that woman anything. She's amazing. Like, Pat herself is so adorable. Like, every time I hear her talk, I'm like, she does sound like your mother. She's so cute. You guys, do you guys know she has a YouTube channel now? I think it's called just Pat McGrath Labs, and they don't have that many videos on, but they do have the masterclass with Naomi Campbell. And Pat said on there that she will actually come on more often and try to explain the inspiration behind the palettes and the color selections. And I would really love to hear more about that. I've always been so curious how she curates her color stories and how she curates the textures. I just want to know everything. The Divine Mink shade is awesome. It's one of my favorite like neutral shades. It's so unique.
It's very beautiful, yeah.
Yeah, maybe just for reference for those of you who may not know what Divine Mink is, it's this shade. It's so pretty. Wait, let me see if I can. It's awesome. Highly recommend. So if you're picking up her singles and you like neutral shades, this one is really pretty.
So
Okay, I'm going to start on my other eye. Naked Blush. Okay.
yeah,
It is a very pretty color. I have to agree. It's a very beautiful, soft, like peach color, but it has a little bit of brown tones to it, and it looks really flattering on the eye and on the face. Oh, what is she going to follow up?
the light sheds, no?
Okay. So, which palette should we recommend, guys, to my friend Day? I kind of nah, Divine Rose wouldn't be for you because there are way too many. I think it maybe leans a little bit too cool toned. What would be a good
Maybe
palette for you?
Sublime is always a good start, I feel.
Sublime is always a good start. Day, how do you feel about the color green? Because Sublime
Yeah.
shines with the color green in there. Okay, I'm way too concentrated to be talking right now.
I'm also like struggling
So,
here.
Bia, what exactly did you do on your eyes? Because you've been like super quiet and not saying anything. What did you put on your eyes? Yeah, Rina, I agree. I actually think maybe Sublime would be a good choice for you, Day, because it's got mattes, it's got settings, which are also very user friendly to be used through
Yeah,
the crease, almost as a matte shade. And it has really beautiful VR nectar is like one of the most beautiful things you've ever seen in an eyeshadow. It, I mean,
green, more than
the
blue.
woman is she's a legend. Come on.
So I think that, yeah, definitely
Maybe
Sublime.
go for Sublime. And Sublime is one of her like permanent palettes, so you can go swatch that in Sephora when they allow testers again.
Yeah.
So tell us what you did on your eyes, Via.
I did the two mattes of this palette, so just two browns, honestly. And as you can see, this one, so weird that everything is the other way around. So this one here and this one,
Mm-hmm.
and just in the crease, very simple. And then I went in with the wine rose, and I did attempt kind of a halo eye.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to with this shade here,
Mm-hmm.
and then this golden topper shade,
Oh,
and
interesting.
the highlighting shade, and
Okay.
a little bit of glitter from the astral shade. Always,
Wow.
you can always throw in a little bit of glitter from that shade.
Isn't that one of the best things about her eyeshadow palettes that you can like layer the different textures
Yeah,
and it's always amazing. Like I've never seen like textures in eyeshadow from other brands which layer so beautifully over top of each other. And you can create such different effects with those. It's really incredible.
that's actually the best thing. Her textures, yeah. The
Yeah.
colors are like okay, nice, but
That's maybe one of the things that pisses me. Like I get irrationally irritated when people talk about duping her special shades because I always think, but what do you mean by a dupe? Because like a dupe is meant to be something that basically is the same thing but like maybe cheaper. And in the case of Pat, you can maybe dupe the color or you can dupe the duochrome or you can dupe the vibes, but you can never dupe her textures. Okay, I'm like super determined on fighting anyone who wants to fight me on this. Her textures are unique.
Midnight Sun.
Oh, Midnight Sun is, how did I forget Midnight Sun?
But I think Midnight Sun might be a bit difficult if you just like, for instance, like it's just me, but I always have like, I don't know, it's the palette that the least gets me creative from her. I
Yeah,
don't know why. Yeah.
I think
Like
it's a
I
palette.
always do the same 2 or 3 looks with that palette.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I always feel like it's a palette which is very inviting to combine with other palettes from her, especially with like the quads she released with the Opulence collection, like the previous holiday release. I think those fit really beautifully with Midnight Sun.
Yeah. But you have to have the other pale palettes, Like I think as a first palette, it's maybe difficult.
Okay, that's a good point. That's a good point. I agree. Bia, what do you think about Golden Opulence? Do you think it's a must-have, or do you think, I didn't really need it?
I don't really need any makeup, let's face it, but I I really like that shade here in the
Mm-hmm.
middle. It's like kind of a, I don't know, it looks very, very like my camera, my computer camera is totally shit, but it's like very silky and it's kind of like a copper with a bit of purple in it. It's just a very nice undertone. And this duochrome in here, that one,
Mm-hmm. Oh, that one is a duochrome. It looks
not
like
really like the glitter makes it duochrome, I would say. It's not
oh
really
wow.
duochrome, but it has like this pink and purple sparkles in it. Now you don't see them on the camera, but it's very, very beautiful.
So you
Those
don't
two,
regret buying it?
I don't regret it, but I like would not say, oh, you have to have it. It's a Pat must have. Definitely not.
Okay. Okay. That's good to know.
To me, it's a little bit like I would compare it. You remember the holiday release of 2018?
Yes.
These scanners from the opulence that you just
Yeah.
mentioned. And I think it's like the red one. The red one is really beautiful and everything, but I don't think it's something you necessarily have to be like, oh, that's where you will see the whole Pat McGrath magic in it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I totally get it. Okay, I have put the bronzy shade in my outer corner and the gold shade on the lid. Dang, the woman makes a sick gold. So pretty. But what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put VR's extraterrestrial over top of that. Let's see
What
what
is
happens.
do you have the Sublime on hand?
I do.
Like, because the niece is asking for the
golden shade on top. Yeah, just 1 sec. I'm going to grab mine.
ah. Yeah, since we all work from home, life with makeup is much easier.
I also have to say that the artwork on Sublime is like one of my favorites. This is like the Silence of the Lambs packaging. I love it.
It's really nice, yeah.
Which packaging is your favorite, you guys? If you had to pick which packaging from her is your favorite, which one would you go for?
I think I actually like the packaging of Midnight Sun the most.
Oh, that is the same as the one from Bronze Seduction, but in purple. That's really pretty. Are you asking about this shade here, Day? The bronzy shade? Do we find if she puts too much gold in her palette? Yeah, we do. I think we collectively do think that she puts way too many golds in her palettes. But I think it's unavoidable because apparently the woman is inspired by the color gold and she lives, breathes, and poops gold. So you can forget about not having a gold in every palette. I'm gonna pop on that VR's extraterrestrial shade on here to see what happens. I feel like yesterday it looked really amazing when I swatched it over the gold.
So I think we are done with bashing Pat McGrath now. No?
Oh, cool. But Sublime is a close second. Oh, really? You think so? Never.
No, but I would like to have more actual gold.
Star Wars packaging. I have only one of the Star Wars palettes. I think Bia has the two small ones too.
Yeah, I have the two small ones. So
Isa says she loves Subliminal and the packaging.
I also
You're
love
right.
Subliminal.
The packaging of Subliminal is so beautiful. I don't know where I was reading that someone somewhere was complaining that they really dislike the packaging of Subliminal and it looks really ugly to them. And I was, how is that even possible? It's a freaking piece of art.
You peasant.
Oh yeah, I don't feel like you can see really much, but when I layer the VR's extraterrestrial shade over the gold, it gives it like a bit of like pink hues and a bit of green hues. It becomes a really interesting effect, but it kind of dulls down that gold. So I'm not sure whether I would like highly recommend trying that. I really liked the vibrancy of that gold.
I like how involved your husband is.
Okay, let me tell you, I have that one. I have it, and I like the artwork on that palette. Let me grab it real quick.
Which one?
The Bronze Seduction with the matte packaging.
Ah, yeah.
So this one, but you are missing on like the normal packaging experience with like the stringy things, because this one is just like a box that you open. So you don't have the strings, and I kind of find that takes away a little bit from the luxurious experience of a Pat McGrath palette. The packaging, the outer like image is stunning, but I really miss the experience with the stringy things. It's super weird.
Yeah.
So part of me actually regretted that I have this palette in the limited edition and not in the original packaging. So I was actually really happy when Midnight Sun came around because that packaging is almost the same.
Probably a lot of people envy you for having this packaging, you know.
Don't. It's the original one is super beautiful as well.
So
not really, but it feels like a lot of the times she's very inspired by space things. Like her palettes are called Mothership, and she has the VR shades, which comes from like virtual reality stuff. So that's why I would really love to know what her inspirations are. So I'm really looking forward to her like talking a little bit more on her YouTube channel about what inspires her when she makes her palettes, because I'm super curious, and I've actually searched on Google to find that and I've never been able to find it. So she hasn't been like very open about where her products come from in terms of inspiration and why she names things or creates color stories or certain textures. So I really hope she like catches us up on that when she decides to talk about it on her YouTube channel.
and maybe I don't.
I do. Did you see the photo on Instagram I posted yesterday? That is exactly my Pat McGrath shrine.
I don't do that. No.
How do you store your palettes, Pia?
Just in the regular drawer. I'm very basic in that
You
sense.
keep them in a drawer? They're not even like out in the world to be enjoyed?
No, they are not.
Okay, you are banned.
You know, I remember once when I ordered the gold palette from Natasha Denona, my dog destroyed it. Since then, I don't leave any makeup out.
She did? What did she say about it? She's a cosmetic alien. She is a cosmetic alien. I'm like doing super random things now because I'm too distracted chatting with you guys. Is anyone else doing their makeup or is it just the two of us? What am I putting in my inner corners? Oh, I'm gonna go for that Skin Show shade. I'm very curious how it looks in the inner corner. Oh, wow. It has a really beautiful like peachy pink shift to it. But it's not very brightening. I don't find it very brightening. I'm gonna pop on a little bit of the Astral shade over top of that. So what are you hoping for her to release next?
I don't know. I feel like she has done a lot what comes with eyeshadow, you know. I feel like some cream face products would be my wish.
Can you hear the bird singing outside my window? For real? Oh, Mia has entered the chat. Hey, babe. So nice that you're here. How are you doing? You're definitely going to be a guest star on one of the next streams that I do, because you and I have a lot to talk about and we always have such wonderful chats without the rest of the world being able to witness them. We should correct that.
Definitely. Here. Man, I am like all over the place. Like my whole place it's a mess.
I can't get myself to do any makeup because I'm too distracted by the chat.
Me too.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it makes sense because the palette is called Midnight Sun, so I can totally understand that she had that inspiration behind it. Yeah, true. Oh, yes!
Yay!
It is happening.
No. Which other releases are you guys excited about?
What are you guys excited about in terms of new makeup releases, or not excited about, so we can trash talk that?
Also an option, yes.
Trash talking is always an option on my channel.
Like that.
I sound like the worst person in the world.
No.
Oh, did you guys know that Natasha Denona is releasing a new palette, something with bronze?
Oh, yeah.
It was leaked for like a whole of 5 minutes, and of course everyone on the internet got a hold of it, so you can still find images if you Google it. But apparently she's releasing a new palette, and it seems like it's maybe in the mini format.
Yeah, like the Love palette, right? Like this one.
Yeah, I hope so.
Are you gonna get it?
No. The Twilight spin-off from Edward's point of view.
Son, I don't know anything about that, but
Mia, don't tell me you are a fan of that movie. I can never see you being a fan of that movie. You know, when I see Pat's eyeshadows, sometimes I do imagine Edward Cullen sparkling in the sun. You're right. Okay, Rina agrees with you, so apparently it's a thing.
I didn't even I don't know. I have no connection to this movie whatsoever, so I have no idea.
You've never watched Twilight?
No.
Okay, do you know why girls watch Twilight? Because one of the characters likes to walk around shirtless, and I never really thought that that would be the reason most girls went to see that movie, but we went to the theater with my girlfriends to see the movie, and every time that character would take off his shirt, you would hear, ah! So that was definitely most women went to see that movie.
Okay. I don't know. I feel like I don't even remember really much about it. I don't know.
Oh, it's
Like
very non-memorable. And to be honest with you, the only one that I would like mildly recommend because it is tolerable is the first one, because Kristen Stewart and Patrick, what was his name again? Pattison, something Pattison. They had like really good chemistry in the first movie, and of course they became a couple after that, so that was clear. But the movies and the storyline becomes more ridiculous the more movies you watch, and by the end of the saga, it is so completely ridiculous that you don't know whether you're supposed to laugh or cry.
man, I'm really not into this whole kind of vampire universe thing.
Really? What is Twilight fan fiction that's really good? Maybe I have missed it. Oh, Bia hasn't watched any of them either, so you're not alone.
Okay, thanks.
I mean, they served a certain purpose, in the movie industry development, I guess.
You think so? I was more a Harry Potter girl, you know?
I mean, all of these like teenage, not only like vampire movies, but like a lot of like those teenage oriented movies. I think there was something with like creatures, some beautiful creatures or something like that. Like all of these movies that are like super alike. Robert Pattinson. My husband knows his name. Why do you know his name?
It's odd. Maybe he also went to the cinema to see his him shirtless.
Oh, cool. Okay. Let us know, because I'm just super curious. I agree with you. I think he's always been a little bit like, I'm made for better things. So Twilight was like, oh, let's forget that happened. Let's just all forget about it.
But at least it was a stepping stone for him, I guess.
It was. It really. Well, he was already like gaining a bit of popularity with the Harry Potter movies because he was Cedric Diggory.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. He's in a Harry Potter movie.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I think everyone kept their shirts on. Nah, we want shirts to be taken off.
That's why it is not popular anymore.
Okay, who here isn't a fan of Harry Potter? Because I love Harry Potter, everything. I love the books, I love the movies. I have socks with Harry Potter on them, so, the fandom is real.
I also love it so much. I think I rewatch it every. Hola. My dog is here, by the way. If you're wondering who I'm talking to.
Are you talking about Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
I don't know.
Is it? Wait, it was a TV series, right? Have they made a movie?
There was a movie of Buffy? Oh my god.
I don't know. I don't really think I ever got into Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Me neither. But also this actress was super famous at some point, but I've never known what she does now.
Fellow fan. Okay, there are people who actually have not read the books. I know my husband has not read all of them. Maybe he's made attempts and he has seen the movies, but for the life of him, he doesn't know which one is which and what happens.
Yeah, my husband is the same. He's also like, but didn't this guy die? Yeah, but it's like 3 movies later.
Okay, I know that for a lot of people, it seems like if you're a fan of The Lord of the Rings, you cannot be a fan of Harry Potter.
No, I'm also a lot of the Ring fans.
I'm not a huge fan of the Lord of the Rings movies. I mean, I totally appreciate them and I totally see why people love them, but I find the storyline to be so boring that you should not ask me to describe those movies to you because you might be offended if you're a fan of the Lord of the Rings.
I just love the detail that they put in the movies. It's like astonishing how much love for detail went there, you know?
Yeah, visually they're really, really beautiful.
Okay, I finally move on to my face.
Wow, I'm still busy here and I think I will be busy forever and ever. If I don't stop applying makeup, I cannot chat. I don't think I'm going to be applying makeup when we're chatting because otherwise I cannot do both. I'm not that like multifunctional. Oh, of course, people are fans of Lord of the Ring, of course. Oh, we have fans of both. That's good.
So
it's not like an exclusive kind of relationship where if you are a fan of one, you cannot be a fan of the other.
No,
I certainly don't think so. But a lot of people also like back at the time when they were released, a lot of people were comparing them, which I always found really strange because they're essentially very, very different stories, different target audiences, different, like super different.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, someone says your dog is adorable.
Yes, he is. He's also a huge motherfucker, but he's very adorable.
My friend can say something about a huge dog who can be, a little bit of a pain in the ass sometimes.
Yes.
Let me just say though, that dog ate 125. No? Yeah. How much does the Natasha Denona gold pellet cost?
129. Like, okay. This guy ate a Natasha Denona gold pellet.
130 euros.
He always wants to lick my face when I wear makeup because he wants to eat it.
Agree. Oh, they ask if you're a scientist too.
If I'm a scientist? No, I'm not a scientist. I'm more IT. In the IT area.
Star Trek. We have Star Trek, Star Wars fans. Okay, I have to admit, never watched Star Trek or ever got into it.
I love Star Trek.
Star Wars? You do?
Yes. Engaged.
Both Star Trek and Star Wars.
Star Wars, not so much.
Really? No. Why did you buy the pellets then?
Because of the shadow. Where's my...
That's a dog with a very luxurious taste for eyeshadow. Yeah. Let me tell you.
Exactly. He is, yeah. I love him, but don't get a Jack Russell Terrier. They're crazy.
What are you going to do once your daughter discovers makeup? Well, that you have something in your drawers that seems very interesting.
I actually, when I decluttered all my stuff in the beginning of the year, I kept some palettes where I was like, okay, if Eva wants to play with makeup one day, she can have these ones.
Oh, okay. Wow, you've already started preparing.
Yes, because I'm not gonna want her to use yet the expensive stuff and then break it, you know. Like,
Yay!
not happening.
Nicola has already started like reaching into my drawers, and he always reaches for one very particular palette. It's like a highlighter palette from Cliona. He managed to smash it once, so now every time he opens the drawers, I'm like, no, you do not play with these toys. No, no. And then he gives me a look like, I'm still gonna do whatever I want. Oh, they asks if anyone is a Doctor Who fan.
No, never seen it.
Yeah, I've never seen it. Maybe if I had seen it, I would have been a fan, but Oh, we have international text represent.
Ah.
We have a lot of like different areas of professions here. Okay, I'm doing like the easiest bronzer ever because I cannot be bothered with anything that needs to be blended for too long. What does F stand for? What's going on?
That must be something between your friends, no?
Oh, F in chat to pay respects to the Eton palette. Oh, we do have a fan of Doctor Who.
Ah, nice. I don't know what Doctor Who is like. Is this time traveling guy, right? Like something like that.
Oh, and we have a librarian. Hi, Karen.
A librarian. That's super cool, actually.
Yeah. What is it like to be a librarian these days? Like, do people actually come to the library to read books? Oh, I have no idea. No freaking clue. Does anyone know how many Doctor Who's there are? I think quite a few by now.
No idea.
No, never really got too much into it. I've heard a lot about it, but never really got super into it. Does anyone else here watch the show Dark on Netflix? It's a German show.
The Dark one. Yeah,
Dark.
I saw it.
You
it's
did?
Super nice. Yes, I really love it.
Awesome. The third season is coming in like 2 weeks, and I'm so excited.
Which are you watching? Is it in Dutch or you watched it in English or?
I watch it with subtitles in Dutch, yeah, because I cannot stand the translation in English.
No, it's terrible.
Oh.
Ah, okay. You law librarian. That's okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's, I'm guessing, the amount of Doctor Who's we've seen. 7, for those of you who are curious. You haven't, huh? Were you too drunk from the gin last week to remember that you rewatched the first 3 episodes? Oh wow, we have 13 Doctor Who's. Wow.
13.
No idea. It can be really bad. Sometimes you read the subtitles, and if you know the language they're speaking, like sometimes because I understand what they're saying in English and I read the Dutch titles, I'm like, that's not at all what they said.
Yeah, sometimes it's terrible, no?
Yeah. Wow, that's a real throwback. I haven't seen it like consistently. I've seen it like here and there, but
I left it sometimes on when it was on TV. Like I was like, yeah, that's nice.
No, more fans of Dark are here. I'm super happy to hear that more people are enjoying Dark because I think it's one of the best shows that has been made in the recent years.
Yeah, super nice. Like it's so like then I like you feel like in every episode there's a moment you feel like lost and you're like, what is happening? I don't
I've
understand.
I've rewatched season 1 at least twice, and I'm now preparing to rewatch season 2 so that I can be like up to speed with season 3. But it's like one of those shows that you have to like pay attention every single second because you blink and you miss important information.
Yeah, right.
Oh my god, dubbed TV. We have dubbed TV in Bulgaria as well, and it's the worst. You guys in is it in Germany that you have like two people who always dub everything?
I don't know. I never
what,
watched the dub versions. I don't know.
one of my classmates in the master program, she was a German girl, and she said that everything in Germany is dubbed, like movies, TV shows, everything, and it's two people who always do that. So the first time she watched a movie with Brad Pitt and she heard his real voice, she was like, "What is this? I don't like it." I thought it was so weird.
Like it. Sorry.
It is really terrible. I agree. It is awful.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I don't know. It was really a fail for me, that one. Yeah, I think so. I think so. Yeah, in Bulgaria it was the same. It was the same. But like my dad, for instance, he really doesn't like it if something isn't dubbed. He says he's too lazy to read the subtitles.
Ah. But do they dub a lot in Bulgaria? Like,
Yes, to this day, they still dub a lot. Oh, I'm going to... Why did I put the palette away? I'm so dumb. I actually put the palette away and I haven't even done my blush and stuff yet. And I want to use it for blush and for highlighter. Totally agree. Totally. For all of you who haven't watched Dark, if you like mystery, time travel, and you like to actually like actively be thinking about what is going on in a TV show and not just, you know, be brain dead while something's happening on the screen, you have to watch Dark. You didn't like it either, Isa, when you heard the actual voices of the actors?
Aldo, no comerá con mi maquillaje.
What language are you speaking to the dog?
I always speak Spanish with my dog. What's my...
It's a Spanish-speaking dog.
Yes, he just speaks Spanish.
I have to say that Peachy Shade is so pretty as a blush as well. If this isn't a one and done palette, I don't know what is.
That's why it's an artistic.
Do you think that's why it's called the artist palette? Because I get the feeling that it's more because of that like hot pink eyeshadow.
Yeah,
hot pink eyeshadow, which is not considered to be eye safe, and maybe that's why they couldn't call it an eyeshadow palette and they chose for like the artistry palette.
No, I think it's that, but it's the first palette of her that you can truly use for the full face, like, right?
Yeah, true. But I use, for instance, the original Divine Rose also for my highlighter because the gold topper shade and the pink duochrome shade make a gorgeous combination together when you like layer them as a highlighter. Like her baked formula is so pretty as a highlighter. Highly recommend that. Yeah, I also grew up like very accustomed to dubbed shows and now I cannot stand it.
Yeah.
It's not about time travel at all. Sorry guys, not spoiling anything. Well, I have to give away some details so that people are hooked on the idea. Well, if you mix it in with something, you could theoretically use it as a lipstick, but it's just too much work for me. So I just use lipstick.
But if you use like chapstick on the lips and then dab on a lipstick, an eyeshadow, it usually works well.
Guys, just so you know, this is my friend's husband, and he doesn't give one shit about makeup. He's just teasing me.
For fuck's sakes!
You know what, kid? I'm going to invite you for real on my channel to do makeup on me. How about that?
How successful you think this will go?
Yeah, it's true. It happens a lot with like makeup products that in Europe would have no problem being called, just an eyeshadow or something. But in the US, because of some ingredients that are not considered to be eye safe because they can like stain your lids and they have like very strong pigments, you are legally obligated to not call it an eyeshadow and to say that it's not eye safe. Totally correct. I actually did.
You did makeup on him, yeah?
Yes, I did. Oh man, do I still have the footage of that? I don't know if I still have the footage of that. Maybe we might have deleted it. But I can tell you, he had a lot of highlighter. Oh, my husband describing dark. Yellow raincoats, eye patch, mysteries, and a sniper witch. That's why I love him. He has the best sense of humor. Oh, I like that. I'll do makeup on you, Keith, and you do makeup on me, and then we compare. Because I'm pretty sure you think your skills as a makeup artist are far superior than they actually are. Sure, sure.
Yeah.
Yes, he does have a beard. Yeah. It's a challenge. I can tell you, it's a challenge. Okay, I'm going to move on to the highlighter now. And I am going to put the astral shade. My husband is scarred for life. Does anyone even
Concrete Mineral?
Concrete Minerals is an indie brand that sells loose eyeshadows. They actually still exist. I'm not sure how they exist because they don't do any marketing on Instagram anymore.
Like this, there's so many of like brands that I used to follow on Instagram that now only have like every time I look at the Instagram like huge sales, like
Yeah,
that's it.
yeah,
Nothing
and
else.
maybe we can like talk sometime, especially about like I've thought a lot about it because as a user of like loose eyeshadows from like small indie companies, I've thought a lot about if these companies are even going to exist in a few years because when you have beautiful pressed formulas, you cannot compete. You cannot compete. I know, right? It's such a throwback. I knew you would know what Concrete Minerals is. You are a true indie geek. You do? I pressed most of mine, not very successfully, and maybe I still have some of them also in a loose form because I love the colors so much. Yeah, loose indie eyeshadows I think are going to be. I was really sad to hear when Darling Girl went out of business. They went out of business, I think, in the beginning of this year. And even though I anticipated that most of these companies will eventually be out of business, I was still really sad to hear it. I have such nostalgic memories with like indie companies and loose eyeshadows and like duochromes didn't exist in the mainstream company like vocabulary even I feel like at the time that indies were like making the most amazing duochromes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That reminds me. Let me swatch you the JD Glow shade.
Went out of business. Oh yeah, let's watch the JD Glow stuff versus the Pat McGrath one. Okay, prepare yourselves.
I take one bite.
Oh god,
This
why
is
is my
the shade.
lighting so bad?
And this one, you see that?
Oh, I don't think you can see with my lighting now. Let me see if I can shine my phone on it. This looks much more purple, actually.
I don't know how to do this. I have to do it with the other hand when we watch.
So the texture of this is really, really soft.
Like, look at this. This is like, I don't know if you can tell, but it's very crumbly. Like, has a
Okay.
super dark base.
Yeah. And actually, I think it has much more like purple to it. This one is much more pink.
That could be my lightning also. Like,
Okay.
I don't really have lightning going on at the moment, but it is like pink, green. The shift is similar, yes, but this one is such a bad quality. Like the GD Glow multichromes are
Thank
not
you.
not recommendable. Not recommendable.
No, so the only thing that I'm very, very curious is how the texture of the Pat McGrath eyeshadow compares to Cleona, because people are super crazy about Cleona.
What did you order, Isa, from them? Did you order the Galaxy shadows or the multichromes?
It is very cool.
Yummy, yummy. I also, since I did YouTube, like since I watched YouTube, I don't buy only drugstore anymore. It's terrible.
I agree. Rina, do you have the Cleona ones? Can you comment on the texture? Because I can almost swear the texture of the Pat shadow would be much more superior, but since I don't have it, technically I can't say that. The shade that I was watching is Yar's Extraterrestrial. Oh yeah, the Galaxy Shadows. Okay.
Yeah, they are good. The Galaxy shadows from GD Glow, they are really nice. Good doing, good doing.
I came across her video. Yes, she did do a lot of comparisons, and what was very interesting is she swatched some of the shades and she said, oh my god, on the eye they actually look very different, especially when you compare them to the Pat shade. But I don't know if she extensively talked about the textures of these eyeshadows, because I feel like one of the most important things with Pat's eyeshadows is the texture. It's just very, very different.
And I also think like what I already told you is like when you dupe out things with like 10 or 5 different brands, you know, it's like also in the end you're gonna have with shipping and everything the same cost.
Yeah.
Like you just buy the palettes then.
So the shadow that's considered to be the dupe from Cleona is called Forge, and I actually had that in my order. I have an order with Cleona since February, and I think it's not even arrived this year.
It's terrible.
Yeah, but I had to cancel the eyeshadow because I was like, guys, in the meantime, I have an eyeshadow in this color, so I don't really know, like, I don't want to have two, and I couldn't pick any of the other jeweled multichromes, but the jeweled multichromes are they 28 Canadian dollars or 22, something in that line?
Yeah.
So if you consider that and shipping, you're already looking at like a quarter of the price of the Pat McGrath palette or something, or like 1/5 of it.
Man.
Oh, they are very crumbly. Oh, okay. Yeah, so see, that's the thing. I feel like most indie like pressed eyeshadows, even the most beautiful multichromes, are still going to be that more emollient texture. Like a lot of people compare the JD Glow Galaxy shadows to the Pat special shades, but they have a completely different texture, like totally different texture. And I think one of the important things to keep in mind is that the texture is it provides you with like this user friendliness that you don't have with the indie eyeshadows. Like VR's Extraterrestrial, you can put it on, you can blend it out easily, and it won't be crumbly, it won't muddy up, it will just look awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice if you have a huge single eyeshadow collection. It's a good thing to have like.
Okay, thanks, Karen.
Through, or if you have a dupes, you know, because you can put it together. But I feel like bringing out the info saying, oh, okay, just buy all of these, and then you have the same. It's like not really worth it.
Pointless. Yeah, yeah. I think it's very dangerous to use the word dupe for something that is like very different.
And also for something, I don't know, I did not watch that video, like that one of the dupes, but I don't know, like sometimes I find people recommending dupes for Pat McGrath that don't have any Pat McGrath palettes. And that seems like just.
Oh my God, yes. And when people who have never tried Pat McGrath are like, oh, I never want to try it because it's nothing special. I'm like, and how do you know?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm a little bit into like a Pat McGrath snob, but that's because I've experienced her textures. I've like my eyes have been open.
I mean, I get it. If you don't want to spend that much on one palette, that's fine. But
So
why not?
I agree, Isa. It's really hard to choose. I was on the website for days trying to pick something because the shifts are like sometimes so similar that you're like, but what is the difference between like these 5 eyeshadows? Like they all have the same sort of shifts and you never really know which one to get. I totally agree.
I have a few and got some that looked on the website like super different to each other, and in real life they look like very, very not the same but very similar.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the indie stuff is more impactful, but I think they have maybe more mica in them. I think mica is what makes them really like shiny, and a lot of them have a lot of silicones as well, which makes them more emollient. I totally agree. It's true.
Good point.
Yeah, so the thing about multichromes, and especially like the jeweled multichromes from Cliona, that made it very difficult for me to choose is I have quite a few of the Dawn Eyes multichromes, so the OG brand that started multichromes, and I always found them very difficult to work with because they have a really dark base. Like all the like really shifty, really impactful jeweled multichromes from Cliona, I feel are also a very dark base, and I'm really scared of them, to be honest, because I find them really difficult to use.
Yeah.
Oh, Rina, you came onto the Pat McGrath train a little bit later, and you've tried a lot of indies as well. Yeah, yeah. So see, once you hop on that train, you're like, it's like nothing else.
I need to 1 second. I need to let my dog out of the room, otherwise he's gonna make a tantrum.
I'm going to like put on a very like easy lip gloss situation because I'm definitely going to remove most of this makeup very soon. This is an old lip gloss I have from ABH, by the way, if people were wondering. It's like a really nice pinky color, something super nude. You definitely are a late bloomer in terms of Pat McGrath. I was a relatively late bloomer too, but you were much later than I was.
I'm back. Yeah, that's what I struggle with sometimes as well. Like from one angle, it looks like, oh yeah, I did a good job, and then you see yourself in pictures, and you're like, what the fuck? What was I thinking?
Do you find it mostly difficult to pair with like other shades though? Because I feel like as soon as you pair a multichrome with other shades is where you get in trouble because you don't know whether the shift is going to look ridiculous together with the shade you paired it with.
Yeah. When you use a matte on the crease and then you use a multichrome on the lid, it can be a nasty business, I feel like.
Yeah, that's exactly why I was never a super huge fan of the multichromes.
Yeah.
We have someone who isn't a huge Pat fan. You have to tell us why. Yeah, see, that's what I meant. Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. Multichromes are theoretically very cool, but in practice, I find them a little bit hard to use, which is why, by the way, I hardly ever touched those Dawn Eyes multichromes.
But I find that the ones from Cliona, they are pretty user friendly, honestly. I think so. Like you can work with them pretty easy. Like the ones from GD Glow, or I also have some from Davina. They are pretty hard to work with, but the ones from Cliona, they are like I don't know, I cannot compare to the Pat one because I don't have it yet. But I find like I don't have as much troubles as I used to have with other multichromes from other brands.
Oh, that's really good to know. I think you have a lot more experience with multichromes than I do. Do you have that shade Forge from Cliona, actually?
No.
No? Okay.
Mm-mm.
Well, you can try to compare it with like other jeweled multichromes from Cliona.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, you have to definitely you have to stick to your mobile lid. As soon as you try to blend them out, you're just going to get a muddy mess. Oh, let's see.
Oh yeah, I also love Sydney Grace. Yes.
Interesting. But are you a fan of super glittery eyeshadows, or are you a bit more meh about that? Because I think if you feel like very like intense metallics and intense glitters are not your thing, then I totally get why Pat is not your thing.
I don't know, like I feel that sometimes it can like it really depends what you want to do with. I can also understand, for instance, when people for instance, more Natasha Denona, because it's just a very different way of applying makeup, I feel.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How I do my makeup with Natasha palettes are it's entirely different than how I do it with Pat McGrath.
Oh,
And
really? In what
yeah,
sense?
I don't know, like with Pat McGrath is more, I mean, Natasha is also a lot about layering
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, but I feel it's also more about, you know, how you start off your makeup. She always does her makeup using first like the glittery shades and then do the mattes as a kind of work it in type of
Mm-hmm.
application. And I feel that's how really works her eyeshadows, like how her palettes work the best. But with Pat, it's really about combining like all the textures and everything. And it's a different way of doing makeup in the
Okay.
end. I think.
Interesting. Isa says that she has issues with the Sydney Grace eyeshadows not being very long lasting. Have you had
I
that?
am no, mine are all still fine, but I have mine maybe since 2 years, so not that super long.
Okay. Oh, Karen says she's not into glitter, but the Cleona glitter multichromes are the best of their collection. Oh, I can't remember if I ordered one of the glitter ones. I'm pretty sure I ordered a couple of the vibrant ones because they looked so awesome, and maybe one of the glitter ones. So I'm really, really curious.
I also love Natasha Denona.
Oh, you have a fellow collect. Are you going to get that bronze palette, Karen? That she's going to be releasing soon? Yes, they would.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Julia's mattes are a little bit dry, no? I feel like they have like this dryness to them, and the metallics, on the other hand, are super emollient. So combining these two textures together, I find also really hard. I agree.
yeah. And also how Mia, how you do your makeup, like you have this very nice ethereal kind of style, as I see. And I feel for that is Juvia's place is not the best way to go for. That's true.
No, no. Karen asks, what bronze palette? Well, let me fill you in. A couple of days ago, apparently there was a
Wait, I
glitch
can
on her
see.
website, and you could see the palette like online live, and then it was taken down very quickly, apparently. But I think you can find images. Like I found an image of that palette a couple of days ago. Let me actually see if I still have it on my phone. It will be really difficult to show you like this, but it looks like a very interesting palette if you're into like more neutral colors.
I'm
No,
also checking on my phone if I can find it still.
I don't have it anymore, unfortunately. No.
Mm.
Oh, no, you I don't find them like super difficult, but at the same time I also don't think they are like the absolute greatest out there. Of course you're getting it. Have you ever looked on any of her releases?
I have
Oh,
here a little bit of an image that you sent me actually, but it's not really well. It's a new one. Ah, you're welcome. I love your looks. I love your looks.
me too. I'm always so surprised how you make them like so ethereal. You always look at like a fairy. I'm always so heavy-handed. I can never stop myself to pack more. How do you
Me
do it?
neither.
Don't get
I'm
it.
also like,
Okay, and now that you have it, what do you think?
do you like
Was
it?
it worth it?
I think that Julia's Place is really into playing into this market of people who like really this really opaque metallics, that
Mm-hmm.
are just like this, I don't know, but they don't have any kind of depth. They are just this true to pan color. I feel that's what they really played into Julia's Place.
They are very vibrant. And I think, of course, vibrant, colorful eyeshadows at a market which doesn't offer that much for people of darker skin tones, they hit spot on. Oh, you have sunrise as well. Do you have all of them?
Yes, so great. I also love it. It's amazing.
I think depending on how that bronze palette looks like, I might be also interested in it because I actually really like the color bronze.
Yeah, I think for you actually it is a good, really good color story, no?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. True, I agree. But I mean, in the end of the day, isn't that true with like most things? That if you had a good collection of indie eyeshadows, you probably are covered with most of the like mainstream releases. But like you have to arrange them together, and the shapes of the pans are different, and it just doesn't look the same as a pre-curated palette. That's my biggest problem. I like the visual appeal of the pre-curated palette and the packaging and the whole experience. I know, right? She's the best. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know how she does it. You have to give us tutorials on how to do ethereal fairy makeup.
You should also have a YouTube channel, which you do.
Wait, you do?
Hmm? No, I mean Karen F.
Yes. Karen, do you have a YouTube channel? Have I missed it?
No, I don't think she has one.
Okay. I was like, oh my, because I very often discover that people have YouTube channels that have been following my channel. Like Mia, for instance, I discovered her so much later because I had no idea she has a YouTube channel.
Ah, okay. And Mia thankfully has a YouTube channel, so we can see how she does this ethereal looks.
Yeah, but the light-handedness, she really needs to teach me how to do that. I know, right? It's like my brain can only come up with so many combinations, and at some point it's a repeat of like things that I'm always drawn to. So if I want to like um be pushed into something that is a little bit more unique from my perspective, then I will have to go with a pre-curated palette, right?
I see the same. Like I love singles, but in the end, I always pair the same singles together. Like I have them in my palettes, in my magnetic palettes, and I never really disturbed how they are in there. So I always just use the ones that are together in a palette.
Yeah, I was actually thinking that video where I said that there are certain makeup products I won't be buying again. I was really thinking about including like single eyeshadows in there because I think I should stop buying them because I never use them. I use
Yeah.
them so rarely that it's not justified for me to spend the money for them to be like rusting in a drawer.
Yeah, I also really went away from single eyeshadows somehow. I don't know. It's just the palette is just so much quicker, Like I just grab it, I do something, and I call it a day.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think singles are something when you really have time on your hand.
true, true. And the thing is also with my singles, I am like limited to those certain colors that I really enjoy, and that's it. Like I don't really have that many options to really make all these different like dupe palettes because I always have bought the same colors. I have like a ton of green single
Yeah,
eyeshadows because
me too. It's in
Metropolis. I tried Metropolis when I was at Alice's place. It's a really nice palette.
I always resisted Metropolis somehow. I don't know. It's the only Natasha Denona palette where I just couldn't get myself to buy it because there's just so many golds in there. It
You
looked like
don't
it
have
was like,
Metropolis?
huh?
You don't have Metropolis?
No, I don't have it. Because it has so many golds. I don't know. I'm not a huge gold person. I already have to buy with every patch palette a gold. So then buying like this Metropolis, which has like 50% golds, I'm like, no.
True. But like everyone was so over the moon about Metropolis.
I bet it's beautiful. I wish I could have this avocado shade and, like this kind of greenish shade she has in there. These ones I wish I could have just as singles, but I know the other ones I have in other palettes from her, like similar ones.
True. I also thought that for people who already have Natasha Denona, the Metropolis palette is a bit redundant.
Yeah.
That's a really cool way to use your singles. I totally agree. I should probably do that more often.
Yeah. Are you actually done with your makeup? You haven't done anything with the
put a bit of lip gloss. You were away and I was really quick with it. I thought I'm going to keep it simple because I'm too distracted applying makeup and talking at the same time.
Which one did you use?
I actually use like a really old lip gloss I have from Anastasia Beverly Hills that I'm shocked hasn't gone off yet.
Yeah, it really costs a lot, but
most of her eyeshadow palettes.
Not that I haven't spent this kind of money on makeup yet.
Once you go down that rabbit hole, you don't really think about the cost so much anymore. It's more like, I want.
It's terrible. What was your first luxury makeup purchase like? What pushed you over the edge?
You mean like in the recent years or in my whole makeup career story?
Because no, in the whole thing. Like, what made you think luxury is actually worth it?
So my very first luxury purchase, I can show you because I think I still have it actually, was a... Oh, do I not have it anymore? Oh no. I thought I still had it. It was a little Shiseido trio, and I bought it only because I couldn't find an orange eyeshadow anywhere else. Like that was the only like palette that had an orange eyeshadow, and that's we're talking like 12 years ago or something.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I totally agree. That's one of the things that I'm also more drawn to Pat because I feel like she's such a legend. And Natasha is true. It's more like she came and she was like slapping those prices and you were like, who the fuck are you?
But in Germany, Natasha Denona is actually pretty known.
Yeah, see, so I didn't know that. We talked about it a while back and you already knew who she was when she released her makeup line.
Yeah, I knew her from before. Like, I mean, like, I'm not someone who follows like a lot of really big makeup artists, to be honest. But I knew her. Like, I knew her name. Like, I've seen doing her like shows and stuff. And
a classic. Karen asks, which is your favorite Pat palette? I think for me, because of purely like sentimental and like nostalgia and that green shade, it will always be Sublime because it was my first one. So I will forever and ever love Sublime. But I also really like Subversive. I like Bronze Seduction. I love Midnight Sun. I don't know. I love them all. I'm such a whore.
I don't know. I think my favorite would be probably Subliminal, actually. I really love the blue corners there, the blue, the Blitz blue and the blue topper shade and stuff. This one, but I also really like Subversive, so it's very difficult for me to head down some.
I didn't know either. Before she started her brand, I also didn't know who she was, but then I quickly got caught up and like I read up on her and I was like, oh, she's amazing.
I also didn't know her. Like I was also like, what's that?
Well, of all places, okay.
Well, I think I need to head off because I hear my husband struggling really hard with Eva in the background.
I think we've been here for like 1 hour and 40 minutes, which is really amazing to me. So I think we are going to wrap this up because I think my husband and my child are going to be back really soon as well. So you guys, this was really, really fun. I hope that you enjoyed it. I'm like super blown away by the fact that like people even showed up because I've always been afraid to do a live stream because I thought
Thanks,
nobody
guys.
wants to show up. It will be so embarrassing. So I'm really happy that you guys were here, and definitely going to repeat this with Bia and with other people and by myself. So thanks so much for tuning in, and we will see each other in just like regular videos.
Yes.
Thank you all so much.
Thanks for showing up, guys. Have a lovely evening or day, wherever you are.
It was. Thank you so much for staying around, my dearest. I love you. It's so
Bye
cute.
bye,
I
guys.
can't believe my real life friends were here. Bye. Okay. Bye, guys.